fellow travelers, Mark here with woltersworld, and today we're here in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago for 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to Chicago. And the first thing that shocks you when you do come here to Chicago is the 4-lane switches. You know, when you're on the Dan Ryan or one of the highways and someone just taps that blinker just slightly. They don't just go one lane over, they go 2, 3, 4, all in one go. Look, you've got to be prepared when you're driving in Chicago. This is Fast and the Furious on the Dan Ryan, so be ready for it. It's not just traffic jams and stuff like that. It is people flying around, double wide passes on normal city streets. You got to be ready for it. And oh my goodness, if you hit one of the potholes here, say goodbye to your axle. So that's the first thing that's going to shock you when you are here. And I got to be honest with you, the potholes themselves could be their own shock. So just have a heads up for those when you're driving around. Now, another thing is when you're driving around, you're coming into the city, the next thing that's going to shock you is the price for parking. I mean, you're thinking, well, I could pay my mortgage, I could put my kids through college, or I could pay for parking in Chicago for the week. I mean, it is insanely difficult to find affordable parking. So things like Spot Hero, if you get that app to help you find a decent place to park with a decent price is something. And if you think you're just gonna park on the street or not get in trouble for stuff, forget about it. They're gonna tell you these things are no joke. So just be ready to be shocked for what, $60 to park for what? Crazy things happen when it comes to parking here in Chicago. And if you take someone's parking spot on one of those winter days, yeah, you're gonna have surprise when you come back to find your car or not find your car because you took someone's dugout parking spot. Now, the third thing that's going to shock you when you come here to Chicago are the Chicagoans themselves. Yes, they can be a bit abrasive, but they also can be the most fun, festive, crazy, over-the-top, proudest people of their city. And they're like their own ambassadors for their town. I mean, they want to make sure that you have the right Chicago-style pizza. They want to make sure that you do get to one of those games at Wrigley. And yes, they will remind you that it's Comiskey. It doesn't have a different name. It's not Willis, it's Sears Tower, right? They will do that and they will have a fun time with you. And I've got a shock that they'll get you later, but honestly, the people of Chicago, for a big city, can be super fun and super friendly, but just be ready for a little, sometimes abrasive side of it to get to the fun parts. Because honestly, just ask for advice from the locals, they will give it to you, all right? Now, the next thing gonna shock you, if you've come here in the summertime and you go to a game at Wrigley to see the Cubs play, or just going to Wrigleyville in general is an experience all by itself. Whether you're going to the game and you're going to sit in the bleachers, and remember, there's no assigned seats in the bleachers. You just sit there, drink, enjoy the game, or just drink and have a good time. But there's all kinds of bars around there, so it's a good going out district. You know, you go to the Cubby Bear before the game or after the game. But it is for people that come to the US, the people that travel, you want to take in sports. The Cubs have 81 home games a year, and a lot of them are during the day. So you can go and enjoy during the day and do something else at night, but you can have so much fun. And people are surprised that, wait, there's rooftop bars that you can watch the game from outside the stadium? Yes, you can. And I'm paying $12 for like a can of beer? Yes, you are. And you're gonna love it when you do it. Now, the next thing that'll shock when you come here is when you have Chicago-style pizza. Whether you get Pequod's or you get Gino's East, or you go to Uno's, or you go to, there's Lou Malnati's, or you go to Giordano's. Chicago-style pizza is super thick, and you'll be surprised because you'll go to order and be like, well, I can put down a medium pizza by myself. That ain't happening with Chicago-style pizza. Like, I can put down 2 pieces and I'm gonna be miserable the rest of the night. Not because it's not tasty, because it's so filling. So just be surprised how much you will get filled up when you're there, and don't overdo it because you really can't put that much away. And another little add-on with the pizza shock is, with that thick pizza, it takes a long time to make that and bake that. So if you're starving, you're like, oh, we're gonna go in and get pizza right away. It could take 45 minutes to an hour to get that Chicago-style pizza baked. So be ready for it. Okay, you could get appetizers, but honestly, you don't need them because you're gonna get so much pizza when you are there. Now, for the art connoisseur, the culture connoisseur, when you come here to Chicago, the next thing that's gonna shock when you're here is the amount of fantastic museums and sites and just altogether cultural goings on that Chicago has. Whether you're gonna be going to the Shedd Aquarium or the Field Museum, or go to the Art Institute of Chicago, one of the best art museums in the entire world, there's so much culture to take in that it's not just seeing the beautiful skyline and going to a game, it's seeing the culture here as well. And it's not just, culture for adults, kids can enjoy it as well. There's multiple museums. I mean, if you're going to go to the Field Museum, kids love that, but the Museum of Science and Industry, to see all things going on, it's incredible for culture here. Whether you go see concerts, you want to go see a show, It is really, really fantastic. Now, the seventh thing that's going to shock you when you do come here to Chicago is you can actually put ketchup on hot dogs in Chicago. I know there's this rumor that Chicago hates ketchup on their hot dogs. No, Chicago hates ketchup on Chicago hot dogs because the Chicago dog is a perfect blend with the pickle, the tomato, and the relish and everything there. It's a perfect balance of flavors that if you put ketchup on it, it ruins it. But if you want to have a normal hot dog, it's okay to put ketchup on your hot dog here. Okay, so don't be scared. If you're looking at that dog that's naked and you're like, it needs a little ketchup, it's okay.
No, it's not. You'll still get side-eye.
True, you'll get side-eye by the crew here as well. Anyway, the next thing I think is important for you to come here is the shock of how horrible Malort is. I mean, Malort is just the most disgusting drink you'll find. And what's great is those friendly people I was talking about before, a little brusqueness, but one of the times you see them being super friendly at a bar, I'm like, oh, let me get you a shot. And if it's Malort, don't do it. Unless you like drinking like liquid black licorice. I mean, you can ask our friends here or anyone around here. It's horrible. Eliz, come. So our friend Eliz from Means to Travel. What's your opinion of it?
It is so disgusting, but for some reason, a lot of the people in Chicago drink it, and then they'll also want tourists to drink it to see how your like face will shrivel up or you'll gag or whatever.
Yeah, so just don't. Like, we're gonna go have some just so you can see how horrible it is. So Eliz is gonna help us with a couple of these shocks. So what's the next shock about coming to Chicago?
All right, so I live in Chicago, I grew up in Chicago, and the next shock is that we have so many fantastic neighborhoods that the food diversity here is going to just shock you. So we have Greektown, we have Chinatown, we have the Pilsen neighborhood for good Mexican food. So many great, different, diverse foods you'll find here.
And with that diversity, also the diversity of the neighborhoods, whether you go to Ukrainian Village, I mean, there's so many great places here. So yes, like she's feeding me well. Like I used to be skinny and now I'm not. Well, actually that was Jocelyn that helped me with that, but yeah.
I mean, last night we got the Chicago style pizza and we got Thai food.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Now, another shock I think you need to realize when you come here, I mean, Chicago's known as the Windy City, right?
Yep.
But it's not known as the Windy City because of the wind, it's known because of
the long-winded politicians.
Yes, but even though those long-winded politicians keep going, you actually do need to think about the wind because you'll be shocked how windy it can be because the wind tunnels downtown.
Yep. No matter what time of year it is, you will experience the wind tunnels on Michigan Avenue, especially the wind coming off of the lake and going down the streets that are in between those skyscrapers downtown. There's wind tunnels all throughout the city of Chicago too, but the most important time to think about it is definitely in the winter time because that wind chill is brutal.
Yeah, super brutal. But one thing that's crazy about the weather is if it warms up, if it's a nice day here in Chicago, what happens?
Everybody's out, including us.
Including us, you know. And you'll see people like it's 40 degrees, but it's been like 10. So they're out in their shorts and a hoodie, you know, that's Chicago guy, you know. And it's hilarious to see, but you actually do have wonderful weather. The summer here, going to the beaches and stuff, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So those are our 10 shocks to coming to Chicago. Eliz, where can they find you?
So my channel on YouTube is Means to Travel. You can also find me on Instagram and all the other social platforms on Means to Travel as well. We have Chicago videos and we also have videos from all over the world.
Yeah, and she's awesome and her husband Derek is a pretty cool dude too. So check him out. We're gonna say thank you and bye from here in Chicago.
Bye.